most important affair.
Mr. Drake wants his evening shoes polished.
We must see every speck is abolished. It's a most important affair.
It's a most important affair. Mr. Drake is impeccably proper, and tonight he has ordered his topper. It's a most important affair.
It's a most important affair. Mr. Drake always chooses the right tie, and tonight he has chosen his white tie. It's a most important affair.
Dear Mr. Drake is so debonair that his bath has perfumed bubble suds in, and he's wearing his shirt with the studs in. It's a most important affair.
With a white carnation to wear, Mr. Drake will be quick on the trigger. Give his highball that one extra jigger. Whether he pays me or pays me not, he don't care.
He may do the town with the mayor. He may christen a sub or a lighthouse. He may even have grub at the White House. I don't know, but I'm willing to swear.
It's a most
7 o'clock.
Do them all over again.
a most important
Mr. Drake.
Come in.
It's 7 o'clock, sir.
Hmm?
It's 7 o'clock p.m.
Oh, thank you. Say, are you engaged in this household to call time signals?
No, sir.
Then spring out of here. Oh, Bingham.
Yes, sir.
Hey, would you say I was inebriated last night?
Oh, no, sir. Although you did have Whiffen cook you 6 pancakes and you spent an hour trying to play them on the Victrola.
How'd they sound?
Much better after you put the syrup on them. Although I wouldn't say you were inebriated.
No, two kisses me. Go and tell my valet to come into my room at once.
Yes, sir.
O'Brien?
O'Brien!
Yeah, what do you want?
Mr. Drake wants to see you in his room right away.
Oh, tell the old folks that I'm coming in. They will sit all night and listen. Good morning, boss.
All right.
I found this unopened letter in your evening clothes, sir. It seems it arrived about 4 weeks ago.
Oh, you're not by any chance trying to rush me into reading it, are you?
Fine thing, intruding on the man's leisure.
Yeah. I don't want to give this conversation an unpleasant turn, Bingham. But scram it! Oh.
Yes, sir, right there.
What's this?
That's a letter. Remember, Bingham put it there.
I am. Well, somebody should read it. Well, what do you think of that? Well, this is the end.
What does the letter say, sir?
Read it yourself.
Yes, sir. Having failed to fulfill your many promises to make payments on your obligation, this is to notify you that the bank has instituted foreclosure proceedings on your property. You will have approximately 60 days to vacate the premises. Yours very...
Cordially.
Oh, yeah, cordially, the National Bank of Manhattan. Well, you've got 30 days left. What are you going to do, sir?
Do? I'll show you what I'm going to do.
Hello?
Listen, Whiffen. I want you to whip up a super supper for, let me see, 8 guests. Yes. Make it a gastronomical masterpiece.
Yes, sir.
Who's coming, Governor?
Never mind. Go on downstairs and get my evening clothes.
You better invite the man who wrote that letter.
Yeah, right.
Come on, kid, shoot me the suit. I'm gonna drape the droop on the old galoot.
Are the guests gonna be financially fertile?
Mustn't be mercenary.
I'm not mercenary, I'm broke.
Aren't we all?
What's up, Mike? I haven't cooked such a spread since Mr. Drake's wife left him.
Maybe that's why she left him. Hey! You trying to boil that beret?
No, just giving it a wash and a polish.
Could stand a change of oil, too.
You being rather close to Mr. Drake, perhaps you could tell me why the staff hasn't been paid for the last 7 months.
Just an oversight, I suppose. Of course, the piano business hasn't been good lately.
It's been bad ever since he fell heir to it.
Going without salary is awkward, but we all love Mr. Drake so.
And he loves you all, so. Hello, Mel.
Hello, Michael.
Ready with the pumps, chumps?
Coming up.
Hello, small, cute, and adolescent.
I have finished adolescing.
You shouldn't hurry a thing like that, my dear.
That's what I keep telling her. Aging takes time.
Oh, shut up, Junior.
How do you like that? 3 days older than me and she calls me Junior.
How are you coming with your biography, Monty?
Oh, swell. I found that the Drakes built their original house in this very spot in 1622. They didn't come over on the Mayflower, they met it. And I found out that the original harpsichord made by the Drake family is still in existence. Supposed to be hidden right in this very house.
No. Millie!
Now what have you done?
Please, Mr. Bingham, I didn't mean to.
Now, don't get excited, Millie. I'll fix it. Hand me that flour. Not much damage.
Not much shirt either.
And after 20 years in this household,
The shirt? Anyone can make a mistake.
this person is not even anybody.
And she wants to go to the Butler's ball.
The Butler's Ball?
Someday I will go.
Sure you will.
The annual Butler's Ball is one of New York's most dignified events.
I know, but in a few years there won't be enough butlers left to throw a ball. There you are.
Thank you, Michael. You're wonderful.
I'm quite popular with myself, too.
That's what comes when a nightclub singer turns valet. Get back to work. Now go on down to the laundry and see if you can bring up a couple of bath towels without mutilating them.
Yes, sir.
That's the trouble with the scullery major.
I know how I feel, but how do I look?
You look good enough to be buried.
There, I beg your pardon.
I mean that as a compliment, sir.
Miss Sandy Brooks.
Sandy,
Oh, Mike.
what brings you here?
Well, $30 a week with room and board.
See? Oh, yeah. Yes, it all comes back to me now.
Yeah, it usually does.
Oh, Mr. Drake, you remember Sandy, my former vaudeville partner?
How do you do?
Oh, yes, of course, yes. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Not since you engaged me last night
I engaged you?
Yes.
as social secretary.
Remember?
You were a little stiff.
Beg pardon, sir. Whiffen's compliments. The gastronomical masterpiece is prepared, but none of the guests seem to have arrived.
Well, never mind that. Will you join us?
Delighted.
Mr. Drake.
Evening, everybody. Evening. Good evening.
But, Mr. Drake, if there's something is...
Now, don't get nervous, Bingy. I'd like you to meet Miss Sandy, our new social secretary.
How do you do?
Now, Whiffen, I asked you to prepare a dinner for 8 guests for tonight, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. You are my guests.
You mean you want to dine with the staff?
No, I want the staff to dine with me. Go inside and find your places.
Very well, sir. As you wish.
I wish.
If I'd have known about this, I would have changed my clothes. Yeah, if I'd known about it, I would have washed the tomatoes.
Millie, you will serve.
Start with sherry.
Yes, sir.
Now, everybody, sit down, including me.
A democratic household, if I ever saw one.
Oh, you're going to love it here. I propose a cheer to our host, Mr. Drake, a man to whom we owe so much. Vice versa.
Yay! Hooray!
Well, this is a dramatic moment. I don't remember when I've been as touched.
It was exactly 7 months ago.
That's a good... see what you mean. I should like you to know that over 300 years ago, the Drake family established themselves right on this very site. As you all know, the Drake family prospered and amassed a great fortune. It ran into a ridiculous figure. All went well until 1941. Then, unfortunately, a catastrophe occurred.
What has happened?
I have been picked clean by buzzards. I have vultures in my investments. And today, my creditors discredited me. That was my end.
And he's flat on it.
Oh, well, let's not get down in the dumps. This dumps gold, this ain't bad.
And his dumps go. This one's going in 30 days.
What? So this is the rich Mr. Drake.
Now known as that Schlemiel.
Mr. Drake, this is a sad state of affairs, but not wholly unexpected on my part. If you hadn't lost the steadying influence of your wife and daughter, this might never have happened.
I didn't know you had a daughter.
Oh, yes. Pamela's living in Switzerland with her mother. Mrs. Drake ran off with the fellow.
Whiffen, please. We will not discuss my family.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Bingham. The kid hasn't been paid for 7 months. She's entitled to drop noodle soup on her own time.
Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. Thank you, Michael.
Just a moment. Why is she doing all the work? Why isn't she sitting down here with the rest of us?
Oh, she can't sit down. She has a low seniority.
She has? I didn't notice that.
She was the last to take employment with us. Consequently, she's the servant's servant.
Oh, snobs, eh? Well, dear, you take my seat and I'll serve.
Oh, I couldn't do that, sir.
Of course you can. Take the head of the table. There you are. Sit down. That's the idea.
Thank you, sir.
That's all right.
You remind me of my father,
Really?
just before he died.
Say, that gives me a great idea. And it's the answer to all our problems. And it goes right back to him because he had a daughter. And if he had that daughter right here now, she'd probably be a debutante and be able to marry a rich guy and set the Drake family right back on its feet, and we'd all get paid. So we take a dame, see? That's our bait. We sugar the dame with a lot of swell clothes, and we call her Miss Pamela Drake, the debutante daughter of Cyrus Drake, the famous piano tycoon.
It takes more than a bottle of champagne to launch a debutante.
We can all chip in, can't we? We have a Fifth Avenue mansion.
Yeah, for 30 days.
Captain Keating's coming out at the horse show.
Who cares about Catherine Keating? I was in the show business for nothing. We'll build our Deb up to the #1 spot with publicity.
It sounds plausible to me. I'm not one to overlook a sound investment.
Yeah, Mom's got dough. We established this girl in the house with her
I know. All we need is a girl to play the part.
I am at your disposal.
Okay, you're disposed of. Mr. Drake.
Yes?
Don't you think Millie looks like your daughter?
Millie? Oh, no, I don't look like anybody.
Sure you do. She's in the bag. We struck a potential gold mine. Say, Sandy, you can help us polish Millie.
But I don't want to be polished.
Nevertheless, sister, it looks to me like you're going to be a debutante.
I don't like the idea.
Oh, nonsense. You'll have the time of your life, and besides, you'll be rich.
Sure. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe she's got a guy already. Have you?
Have you?
Well...
Is he in love with you?
I don't think so.
Who is he?
Oh, Oh, he sings to me from his window across the way. We just wave at each other. Like that.
Well, guess you can't get into any trouble just waving.
Listen, Millie. You want to go to the Butler's ball, don't you?
Oh, more than anything else in the world.
Well, you're going. Not only is she going to the Butler's ball, but she's going to sponsor it. Bing, you can fix that.
Well, perhaps.
Will you do it?
You'll have a big house.
Yeah, we'll be waiting on you.
You'll have automobiles and limousines.
What do you say?
I'll say yes.
Hooray!
Good. The first meeting of the corporation will be tomorrow morning. Contracts will be signed, and we all share equally in Millie Incorporated. Now may I present Miss Pamela Drake.
Captain Keating's falling down, falling down, falling down. Captain Keating's falling down, my fair Millie.
We will organize a corporation, and I will supervise its operation. There's money in the movies, there's money in the ads, there's money in the old John, there's money in the lads.
Millie, 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 money, money, money. Eeny, meeny, miny, money, mo and mo and mo. I'll do it! Hooray!
We catch a fortune by the toe.
I won't say can't, I'll say can't. I won't say shan't, I'll say shan't. I'll call my auntie my aunt, for today I'm a debutante. when you're invited to dine. You don't drink beer, you drink wine. It's all just too divine that today I'm a debutante. I wear a face like a sphinx, I dress in ermines and minks.
If necessary, you wear a sarong.
I'll be polite to the press, and I'll learn how to say yes when the right man comes along. If I come home about 4 and find a wolf at my door, invite him in. This is war!
And today you're a debutante.
Quiet, please. No riot, please. This lowly little creature must be made into a double feature.
I can't wait to be a fabulous, amorous,
Glamorous
hunk of bait.
We're gonna be rich.
In the social swim, I'll make an awful splash. I'll buy Boston and I'll pay cash. I'll play the ponies, I'll mingle with the phonies, just disgustingly rich.
Every winter we will learn to ski. Every summer we will sail the sea. Catch barracuda down in Bermuda. Just disgustingly rich.
I'll buy autos with the autocrats.
I'll drink Pluto with the plutocrats.
Swimming in highballs.
Stewed in the eyeballs.
Disgustingly rich.
We can dig the spots with the jitterbug smell. Park our chewing gum on the seats at the mail.
We won't be civil, nasty as the devil, just disgustingly rich.
What about me?
You will rocket like a ball of fire.
Higher and higher and higher and higher.
You must be pale as a ghost.
And always rude to your host.
And forget Miss Emily Post.
For today you're a debutante.
Then I will fly about town and meet some guy about town who's worth $1 million in glamour and swang.
When he says, will you be mine, before you give him the sign, be sure he's got it in the bank.
Right.
The world is mine to bewitch.
So get right in there and pitch.
3 cheers, we're gonna be rich. Too disgustingly rich.
There. It is finished.
It is exquisite.
I am stunned.
So am I.
Oh, she is beautiful.
Am I really?
Even I'd be beautiful in that.
Okay, chum. Here's your money.
Thank you so much for paying in cash. It's quite unusual for me.
It's quite unusual for me, too.
Come along, Rita.
Oh, isn't it wonderful what the right clothes can do for a girl?
No, it's wonderful what the right girl can do for clothes.
Come on, let's cut out the trade less and get to work, shall we? Oscar, carry these boxes upstairs.
Yes. My goodness, that sure is some transformation, Miss Millie.
What's that?
A book.
But I'll never be able to read it that way.
It's not for reading. You're going to learn how to walk.
But I know how to walk.
That's what you think. Watch me. You see, a debutante has to do the society slink. Like this. Sort of sneers with her feet.
All right. Sneer with my feet?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Sneer.
Slink.
Sneer.
Slink.
Oh, that book is too light. Have you got Gone with the Wind?
My feet hurt.
Never mind your feet. You've got to get it.
Here, try this one for size.
Oh, Oscar, play some walk music.
Walk music? Nobody walks when I play.
We'll play it anyway.
And while we're walking, we're going over that lesson once again.
Okay. Oscar, go.
Now then, what's your name?
Millie Picot?
What?
Pamela Drake?
Where are you from?
Switzerland.
What's your father's name?
He's dead.
What?
Mr. Drake.
That's better. Now, what are you going to be?
Sick.
Oh, brother.
Oh, Michael, please, I try again.
All right. Here we go. What are you going to be?
I'm going to be debutante #1.
That's right. And who's Catherine Keating?
Girl I have to lick.
Good!
Oh, dear. That settles everything.
Did the publicity break?
Did it break like a cloud bursting all over me? Look! Who's that?
Millie.
Oh. Millie?
This this is great. It says your daughter Pamela arrived.
Yes, it also said my wife, Emily, arrived with her. Now, we can get away with this daughter stuff, but half the society people in town knew my wife.
So, that's an easy one. We'll have Sandy be Mrs. Drake. Sandy.
But they all know what she looks like.
After 15 years of wear and tear, Sandy's a natural for setup like that. Sandy, meet your husband.
How do you do?
But, well, it's only within the corporation.
Well, we'll take a vote on that. Millie, meet your mother.
How do you do?
Well, how could she be my mother when she's never met my father?
Television.
What'll they wear next?
You know, Millie, you know it's dangerous for a girl to be as attractive as you are.
Oh, Michael. Oh, I'm too happy to talk, and I'm too excited to keep quiet.
Shall we sit down?
Yes, Michael.
You know, there's something I think I should warn you about.
What?
Wolves.
Wolves in New York?
Oh, packs of them. And they'll be howling after you. Now, these higher bracket wolves have the sharpest claws. First, there's a type called the creepy wolf.
Is he dangerous?
He's no vegetarian. He starts in by putting his arms around you like this, presumably to fix your collar. Then softly and slowly his hands rest on your shoulders.
And his paws just stay there?
No, they keep going down, down. Pretty soft touch, he thinks.
You mean he wants to see if I'm tender? Michael, how do I make a man be a wolf?
Oh, will you? Why?
You want me to get a rich husband?
Oh, but Millie, you're just bait. You see, when you put bait on a hook, you don't expect it to make like that.
Well, how will I know when the right man comes along?
Oh, you'll know. You look at some guy, and he'll look at you, and you look at each other, and just clicks, that's all.
What clicks?
Well, your blood starts fizzing like ginger ale. You're walking on air. Your heart starts pumping strange noises into your head.
Clicking noises?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Then there's another type of wolf called the hand kisser. He starts in by admiring your hand. He says, "My, what a lovely hand you have," and starts kissing it like this. Before you know it, he's nibbling on it like it's an order of spare ribs.
We're playing a game. He's a wolf, and I'm pretty soft.
Yeah. I was just trying to show her a few things I picked up.
From the things you picked up.
That's it.
Mickey.
Yeah?
Go to the door and tell the man to come back in 60 days.
Yeah, but we're being put out in 30 days.
That's the point.
Oh, all right. But what if it's a woman?
Tell her the same thing.
Okay. Yeah?
Good morning. My name is Frank Sinatra.
What? Oh.
Just a moment, please. Don't you feel well?
Oh, I feel wonderful.
Well, let's pull ourselves together, shall we?
Did you come to see me?
No. I came to see the young lady that waves like that.
Oh, the one who waves like that?
Uh-huh.
She's in here. Come on. It's for you. His name is Sinatra.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Hello.
Hello.
I brought you some flowers.
Oh, for me?
Uh-huh. And a new song.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
You haven't been waving lately, and I thought perhaps you were ill.
Oh, no, I felt swell.
You see, we know each other from across the courtyard.
Oh, so you're the one.
Sounds positively indecent. You know how your father feels about those things.
Am I doing wrong?
You're not doing bad.
May I ask your name?
My name is Millie.
Well, that's just a nickname. You see, her real name is Miss Pamela Drake.
Of the Drakes.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's rather silly. I thought Miss Drake was a member of the household staff. I apologize.
The staff accepts your apology.
Is there something wrong with your head?
Oh, no. You see, I'm just learning to walk.
It's a delayed case.
We're getting Miss Drake ready for her debut next week at the Butler's ball.
Oh, that's a coincidence. I'm singing at the Butler's ball. Our chambermaid has asked me.
Oh, you mean Margaret?
What
Oh, how very nice. Is this a love song?
No, it's a torch ballad.
Oh, a hot tune, ain't it? Ain't it? Won't you please sing it for me now? Oscar will play it.
Well,
You see, Pamela,
Oh, don't mind Michael. He's only the valet here. Come along.
Yes, I'm only the...
Oh, Oscar.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you play this for my friend?
For your friend, I'll play it extra well.
That guy may sing us out of a fortune.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night because we had that silly fight. I thought my heart would break the whole night through. I knew that you'd be sorry, and I'm sorry too. I didn't have my favorite dream, the one in which I hold you tight. I had to call you up this morning to see if everything was still all right. Yes, I had to call you up this morning, 'cause I couldn't sleep a wink last night. I didn't have my favorite dream, the one in which I hold you tight. I had to call you up this morning to see if everything was still all right. Yes, I had to call you up this morning, 'cause I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think it's fine, too.
Thank you, too.
That was great, old boy. Now we'll be seeing you at the Butler's ball.
And maybe I'll sing for you.
That'll be peachy.
Oh, I'll just see my friend out.
So long.
Mrs. Keating and Miss Keating.
How do you do? I'm Mrs. Keating. This is my daughter, Catherine.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm an old school chum friend of Mrs. Drake, and I thought...
I'm sorry. I'm sort of a stranger here myself. This is Miss Drake. Well, goodbye, Pamela. Don't work too hard.
Oh, I don't anymore since we got the new vacuum cleaner.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
So you're Pamela. Well, well, well. It's so nice that your mother and father are making up after all these years. I never did believe half the things I know about him. Of course, you remember Catherine? Oh, don't you?
Well,
When you were tiny tots of 5, you used to scratch each other up terribly.
Did we? Mother, please.
And now you're going to be rival debutantes. Tell me, darling, how did you leave dear, wonderful Lucerne?
Oh, she's quite well, thank you. Mother was speaking of Lucerne, Switzerland. Oh, I don't think I know her at all.
She don't.
Oh, you must excuse Miss Drake. She's so terribly tired, trying on gown after gown, posing for pictures. You know how it is. Now, you run up there and get into something more comfortable.
All right, Mother.
Mother. She always calls me Mother, but then everybody does. I mother them so.
Sandy! Who was that singing down here? Bing Crosby?
Bing Bang Sinatra.
Ah, well, he'll never get any place. Yeah, but... Oh.
Well, Cyrus, aren't you going to speak?
Of course, of course, dear. How are you?
Don't you remember me?
Oh, how could I ever forget a face like yours? So well preserved. Have you seen little Pamela? Oh, hello, darling.
Hello, Mr. Drake.
She always calls me Mr. Drake. So respectful, don't you think?
Oh, yes. Come along, darling.
Good afternoon.
Shall we sit down? Who's this?
That's my daughter, Catherine.
Oh, little Katie, yes, of course. Do sit down, please. Well, what brings you here, Georgia?
This morning's newspaper.
This morning's newspaper?
Yes, when we read that Emily and Pamela were back, we rushed right over.
Oh.
And one other thing. Catherine stands a very good chance of being this season's debutante. And I wondered if you'd mind waiting until next year to bring Pamela out.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. We couldn't do that. I tell you why. There could be...
Oh, no.
No. No. Oh, may I present my secretary and my secretary? No, we just must bring Pamela out this year.
Well, I think I better have a word with Emily about this.
Yes, do that. No, please.
Where is she?
Well, she's under the weather.
Really?
She's got it.
No.
She's had it for some time.
Oh.
Doesn't seem to be able to get rid of it.
Well, Mr. Drake, the committee has approved my suggestion to have Miss Drake sponsor the Butler's ball.
The Butler's ball?
Oh, yes. All right, Bingham.
I'll speak to Emily about this later.
Oh, Mrs. Keating, are you leaving?
I'm afraid we must.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, come and see us again, won't you?
Thank you.
Oh, if you're not busy on Friday, do come to my party and bring her.
Well, if it's at all possible, thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, it's formal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 37th Annual Butler's Ball. The committee extends its cordial thanks to all members, to our generous patrons, and particularly to our honored sponsor, a charming, gracious, and most beautiful young lady, member of one of our oldest and most distinguished New York families, a favorite for the season's #1 debutante, Miss Catherine Keating.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a privilege for me to be here this evening, and I'm highly honored to be chosen as your sponsor. Thank you.
Hey, Bingham.
Well, Mr. Speaker,
Yes?
you've made a mistake.
Oh?
Now, how do you suppose that Keating dame pulled that off?
I don't know. I guess you got a better butler than Bingham.
Yeah, and he probably gets paid.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate this evening to be honored with two sponsors. The second, an equally charming and gracious young lady, also a member of an old and distinguished New York family, and a close rival for the season's #1 debutante, Miss Pamela Drake.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very great, very great evening. It's gone.
Say something.
Well, anyway, all my life I've dreamed of attending the Butler's Ball. And just think, here I am. I'm so happy, I can't believe it's poor little me. I wouldn't be surprised to wake up in the morning and find that I have been dreaming, that I haven't really been here at all. But I have never...
Lie down.
I have never pied down.
What a delicious sense of humor.
I have never sponsored anything before in my life. Although I've heard it done by the soap man on the radio. That's it. And I want you to know that the bar will close at 2 o'clock.
She's wonderful.
Well, I just, like you, I just want to say that this is the most wonderful night of my life, and that I hope that the man there will let me come down onto the floor and let me dance. Just once. Thank you.
You bet we will, Miss Drake.
Spoken like a true Drake. Sweet, simple, and incoherent.
And now we're going to ask our two gracious and beautiful sponsors to step down to the floor and receive a small token of appreciation from our committee.
Oh, Mike, I'm frightened.
That's all right. Go on down. Remember to snare with your feet.
And keep your mouth shut.
Yes, Mr. Drake.
Mr. Drake.
Hello.
Presentation this evening will be made by a very special guest. Through the courtesy of Mr. Frank Sinatra's chambermaid, we present Frank Sinatra.
The music stopped, but we were still dancing, which goes to show that music has charm. The lights were low, so we went on dancing. I felt the glow of you in my arms. The band had left the stand, and we were in heaven, dancing on a cloud way off in the blue. The music stopped, and people were glancing, but we went on dancing, for we didn't know, because the lights were low, and we were in love. The band had left the stand, and we were in heaven, dancing on a cloud way off in the blue. The music stopped, and people were glancing, but we went on dancing, for we didn't know, because the lights were low, and we were in
And now we're going to fulfill Miss Drake's request and ask that both sponsors and their escorts lead the first dance. Miss Drake's escort is a new but promising member of our fraternity, Mr. Michael O'Brien.
That's fine.
And to add to our galaxy of celebrities this evening, we have Miss Keatings' escort, a nobleman of ancient lineage. May I present Sir Victor Fitzroy Victor, K.B.O.B.E.
K.B.O.B.E.? He sounds like a radio station.
Yes, but his title has a nice ring to it.
Like a cash register.
Well, maybe we can tap it.
Oh, you mean if the Keatings haven't already hooked him, he might be a likely prospect for Millie?
Capital candidate.
Well, Sir Victor, as chairman of the corporation, I shall give him considerable consideration. Sir Victor, I don't think further introductions are necessary. From now on, you can call me Mike.
Thank you. The same goes for me.
Okay, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, Pamela, may I present Sir Victor Fitzroy Victor, K-B-O-B-E.
How'd you do?
How do you do? Oh, good evening, Miss Keating.
Good evening. Sir Victor, they're waiting for us.
Excuse me. Looks all right.
Oh, yes.
It's like the dough from now on, I think.
Mike, I feel wonderful. My blood is fizzing like ginger ale. I'm walking on air. And I'm hearing strange noises.
What's that?
Doesn't it mean anything to you?
Sounds like a cricket.
It's a click.
So all right, put it away. You can play with it when you get home.
Mr. Sinatra has lovely round notes, doesn't he?
Yes, but they're not negotiable. Now, you're supposed to keep your mind on Sir Victor tonight.
Sir Victor?
Yes? Well, Miss Drake is a graceful dancer, isn't she?
Yes.
He isn't half bad, Millie. I'm sure the corporation will okay him.
For what?
For your husband. After all, he's obviously wealthy and he has a swell title.
Well, he's not my idea of a husband.
Maybe not, but he's satisfactory to the corporation.
Well, haven't I anything to say?
Sure, sure. You say yes when we tell you to. Here he comes now. Try to make an impression on him. He's smiling. You sure impressed him.
Tell me, Catherine, are the Drakes people of means?
Oh, I guess they have money.
I'm going to suggest that we exchange partners.
Oh, no.
Why not?
I don't know how to dance with foreigners.
Here he comes. Now we'll sort of stall till he catches up to us, and then I'm going to ask him. What's the matter?
I don't know. I seem to be short on one side.
You dance like you're on the side of a hill.
What kind of a step is that?
Maybe it's housemaid's knee.
Stop it, will you?
Michael, I can't help it.
Well, that's a strange dance she's doing. Please stop. Think of the corporation. Look, Mr. Drake is looking at us. Come on, pull yourself together. There, that's better. Say, are you getting smaller?
Lost my shoes.
What? Oh, well, you can't see them.
Michael, I don't want to dance with anyone else but you tonight.
Don't be silly. You've got to dance with the millionaire.
No, 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 no.
Listen. Hey, your hair is coming down. Fix your hair. Come on. Look, he's looking. Fix it up there, that's it.
Well, that must be the American Indian dance I've heard so much about.
Haven't you any more hairpins?
No, let it go. I often wear it that way.
Look at Millie. She's falling apart.
Yeah, so's Mom's bankroll.
Now pull yourself together. Sir Victor is just behind us. I'm going to ask him.
Oh, Michael, can't we dance around just once more?
No, this is business.
Oh, my bracelet!
Oh, thank you, Sir Victor. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
Well, Miss Drake, we seem to be left alone. Shall we?
Wasn't it wonderful last night? All the best people were there, including Mrs. Vanderwater's butler. Why, causing Pamela Drake a panic. My friend liked her better than any of the entertainers. And you know, she looked just like a kitchen maid I used to work with over in Long Island. Oh, look at her now.
Sarah, the ball is over.
Yes, Mum. One picture of me and 10 pictures of Pamela Drake. In this one, she's shaking hands with a waiter.
Here she is applauding herself.
Here's a large one of her dancing in her stocking feet. If you ask me, Mr. Drake brought up every editor in town.
Maybe you could have gotten more pictures in the paper had you dropped your girdle.
Oh, Mother, there's something I don't understand about this. Pamela Drake arrives in town, unheralded and unheard of, and a week later, she's a social sensation.
Catherine, I don't think she is Pamela Drake.
What?
At any rate, we'll find out on Friday.
Mother, you're not going to that party on her invitation.
We certainly are. Now.
Wake her gently. She's probably got the morning jitters.
Ah, those newspaper notices will cure anybody's headache.
Uh-oh. You suppose she's scrammed?
I don't know. Look in there. Yes?
No.
Oh, she probably didn't sleep a wink last night.
Hey, Mike!
Millie! What are you doing there?
It's Wednesday.
What's that got to do with it?
I always scrub the steps on Wednesday.
That's all we need, a picture of the Drake heiress manicure in the stoop.
Come in out of there.
Some debutante.
Good morning.
Oh, hello.
Are you getting your exercise?
No, just scrubbing the steps.
I came to congratulate you. I thought you were wonderful last night.
I thought I was too.
Say, what's the idea? Oh, Pamela, you're not supposed to be doing this now. The photographers won't be here for half an hour yet.
The things those newspapers do think up.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know the
Oh, you didn't know the photographers were late? No, of course you didn't. She's so forgettable.
I brought Miss Drake some flowers.
Oh, gee, that's swell.
She means that's nice.
Yes. Say, where are you getting all of these flowers?
My old man owns a flower shop.
That's nice, too. Well, come on, Pamela. You got a lot of checks to sign, my dear.
Oh.
Oh, no, you can't play with your pail yet. Later on, you may.
She's going to the beach.
Yes, she loves the water.
Sometimes she blows bubbles.
Yes.
Goodbye, Pamela.
Goodbye, Frank. See you on the window.
Yes, she'll see you.
Hello?
So long.
I saw you first.
Now, wait a minute.
Nobody else is gonna get you. I saw you first.
Yes, I'm in it.
Nobody else is gonna pet you. You smiled at me, that was my lucky break. Gave you that double take, said to myself.
Quote.
Oh, Blanky,
Unquote.
you gave it that.
I did?
I suddenly found myself in clover. I tumbled flat.
You sure did.
That was the time that you took over. If someone else wants to try this love scene we rehearsed,
What'll I tell him, baby?
just tell them I saw you first.
I'll try to remember that I saw you first.
Me?
Baby, I should have seen you sooner. I saw you first.
Oh, gee.
Think you could ever stand a crooner?
Uh-huh.
You smiled at me, that was my lucky break. Gave you that double take. Said to myself,
What did you say?
that does it. You gave it this. I was like a clown in clover. And that first kiss, that was the time that you took over. So if my other love affair should go and burst.
What other love affair, you double-crosser? From now on, I'll listen to Crosby.
Okay, but...
Remember, I saw you first.
Lovely thing you're playing, Victor. What is it?
It's a piano.
Very funny. I've often wondered what made an excellent musician like you take up the piano.
Well, you see, my teacher couldn't play any other instrument. That is why.
I should have known better. It's a very nice picture of you and Pamela Drake here.
So?
Did you know I consider you're quite photogenic?
Yes, so did the Continental Police. That's why they took so many pictures of me. Well...
Among other notables attending the Butler's ball was Victor Fitzroy Victor, K.B.O.B. That title you tag onto me is certainly a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yes, and very attractive to rich young ladies, particularly Miss Pamela Drake.
Uh-huh, I see what you mean.
Do you mind if I have a bit of the paper over?
Oh, no, not at all, no.
I am the fourth assistant managing director.
Oh, really?
Ah, Mr. Green, a word with you, sir.
Mr. Henry, I'm afraid I shall not be able to pay my bill this week.
That's what you said last week.
Did I? Well, I kept my word, didn't I?
You certainly did. See, Mr. Henry, if he told you that he couldn't pay last week and didn't, he kept his word. I think you owe him an apology.
Quite. Last week I told Mr. Green if he didn't pay this week, I would turn him out. And I am going to keep my word.
Quite.
Mr. Henry, you wouldn't let a little matter like a bill make you upset, would you? You see, Sir Victor is going to marry Miss Pamela Drake.
Drake? But last week you told me he was going to marry Catherine Keating.
Oh, my good man, that was last week.
The only difference is that Miss Keating has $1 million and Miss Pamela Drake has $2 million.
Oh. Quite.
Quite.
Quite. Quite, quite.
Sir Victor? Oh, Sir Victor, the compliments of Miss Pamela Drake, sir. She's extremely sorry she poured the champagne down your back last night.
Oh, that's perfectly all right. Isn't it unorthodox, her sending me flowers?
Very odd girl.
Her father's rather odd, too. He was wondering if you and Mr. Green would be good enough to accept his invitation to come to Miss Pamela Drake's coming-out party Friday night.
Well, I think it would fit in with our plans.
Ours, too, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You see, Mr. Henry, Mr. Drake.
Yes, indeed, sir, I see. I think we might forget the matter of that little bill just now.
I think we might forget it indefinitely.
Mr. Henry, do you have a flower shop in this hotel?
Oh, yes, sir. A very beautiful flower shop.
Wait, would you like to exchange these for 2 bottles of beer?
Quite.
Hey, step on it. Sir Victor and his friends have arrived, and the rest of the guests are strictly carriage trade, too. Millie, that's sensational.
Here we see him on the beam. Boy, if she doesn't hook the fish with that one, we ought to dissolve the corporation.
All you have to do is take one look at Sir Victor, and he'll melt.
Well, there you are, kid. Now powder your nose and come down those stairs like you were entering Snobby Lobby. Come on, gang.
Michael, do you think he'll ask me to marry him tonight?
I don't see how he could help it. I know if I were in his shoes, I would.
Would you, Michael?
Sure.
And I'd say yes, Michael.
That's the girl. The corporation's going to be very proud of you. And I'm personally very grateful, Millie, because, after all, I started this, didn't I? Well, good luck, kid.
Casual stroll through a garden, a kiss by a lazy lagoon, catching a breath of moonlight, humming a favorite tune. This is a lovely way to spend an save all my nights and spend them with you.
trying to kidnap me?
No, I asked you to meet me because I have something to ask you.
Oh?
Frank,
Hmm?
How do you feel about marriage?
Well, I think that marriage is an institution that no family can do without.
Are you in love?
No,
Oh, that's wonderful.
it is.
Because now you're unbiased.
I am?
Sure.
Swell.
Frank, it's like this. I've got to marry a man, but I don't love him.
Oh, that sort of thing. Why do you have to?
Because the man I love wants me to.
He does?
Yes.
Well, isn't that an odd way for him to show his love for you?
Oh, he doesn't love me.
He doesn't?
No.
Oh. Have you told him you love him?
No.
No.
Oh, no. I'm waiting for him to find out he loves me.
You know, I seem to be confusing you. Let's sit down and start all over again. Now tell me, how does the poor guy you're going to marry feel about this whole thing?
Oh, he hasn't proposed yet.
What does your father say?
Oh, Mr. Drake isn't my father. I'm just his daughter. Temporarily. Until I marry the rich man.
Rich man?
Well, you can see it's a desperate situation.
Oh, yes. Very desperate situation.
Frank,
Mm-hmm.
how would you go about making someone fall in love with you?
Well, if it were a certain someone I met at your house, I would take her for a walk in the park. And we would sit down, like this. And without confusing her, I'd say, "This is a lovely way to spend an evening. Can't think of anything I'd rather do. This is a lovely way to spend an evening. Can't think of anyone as lovely as you. A casual stroll through a garden, a kiss by a lazy lagoon, catching a breath of moonlight, humming our favorite tune. This is a lovely way to spend an evening. I want to save all my nights and spend them with you. And spend them with
Oh, has Miss Pamela come down yet?
Oh, would you tell Miss Pamela the guests are waiting and ask her to come down right now?
She's already down and out.
Out?
Out where?
Yes, out's a big place.
She went out with her nightingale.
And why didn't you say something?
The way I feel I could say something.
Yes, well, run along and pass your things.
New girl.
Hello, Billy.
Well, where have you been?
Oh, I went to invite my friend to the party. You remember, Mr.
Yes, we've heard that name before. Oh, Mr. Drake.
Yes?
You remember our very good friend?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do?
How are you, Mr. Fitzroy?
Oh, his name is Sir Victor, Millie.
And her name is Pamela.
Oh,
Oh, you needn't apologize. I get my name mixed up myself sometimes.
Pamela, would you like to take a walk in the garden?
Oh, I'd love to.
Good. Sir Victor, Pamela would love to take a walk in the garden.
Well, I should be delighted.
Oh, Miss Keating.
Yes?
Would you like to take a walk in the garden?
Why?
Oh, Frank.
Yes?
Miss Keating would love to take a walk in the garden.
Well, I would be delighted.
I knew you would.
We'd have a chance if you'd only forget that songbird.
We may have to poison this birdseed.
Say, Mike, would you like to take
Yes, I'm going to take it right now.
Oscar,
Yeah.
could you give a woman a bit of advice?
Why, Miss Mickey, there isn't anything that I have any more of. What's wrong?
It just seems that every time I catch a man, he catches somebody else.
Well, you just haven't caught the right man.
But if ever I find a man, what'll I say?
Well, you can have someone advise you, that is, when you buy a precious stone. But when it comes to love, you on your own. If you must have information, you can dial your telephone.
But when it comes to love, you're on your own.
Who asked you?
If your songbird flies without you, you can climb another tree.
You know I'm simply mad about you. You're arsenic to me.
There are red lights round to warn you when you're in a danger zone. But when it comes to love, you on your own.
That romantic moon will help me, and the stars that shine above.
But if that old moon won't help you,
then I'll help myself to love.
I'm a party meant to be figure. I'm in favor with the throng.
But when it comes to love, you're on your own.
We could fly away together and explore the great unknown. Just you and I together on our own.
Really, Min, we've caught a flounder.
Yeah, we got him on the hook. If we can only land the bounder long enough to pick his pocketbook.
With your beauty and my brain work, we can make a lovely match.
Yes, but when it comes to love, we start from scratch.
I'm leaving now.
Can't we fly away together and explore the great unknown? Just you and I together on our own.
Well, come on, let's have some action. Hurry up now, don't delay. Now's the time to pop the question.
Break it up, scram, go away. Come on, inside, inside.
If a lot of busybodies mind the business of their own, they ought to see we want to be alone.
'Cause when it comes to love, you on your own.
When it comes to love, you're on your own.
Cyrus.
Oh, Georgia.
I must say you have a talented staff. Where on earth did you collect them?
Oh, I just opened my pocketbook, and there they were.
I want to ask you something.
Yes, carry on.
Did you have more than one daughter?
Well, that, of course, I wouldn't know. You see, my wife took care of those matters.
Where did you find Millie?
Millie?
Your scullery maid.
Oh, the scullery maid. Oh, I got her from an old scullery maid of mine.
Where is Millie tonight?
In the scullery, I suppose.
There's no one in the scullery.
No? Oh, that can't happen in my household. I'll go and put somebody there.
The cook said Millie was upstairs.
Millie upstairs?
I understand she's taking care of Emily.
Oh, did oh, yes, of course. I've forgotten all about that. Yes.
How is Emily?
Oh, she's worse. Broke a leg.
Broke her leg?
Yes, we almost had to shoot her.
What happened?
You know, she's been under the weather for quite some time. And coming out from under the weather, she did it.
How?
Well, for example, we'll say this is the weather. Well, she was under it. And coming up, right? It is right there. Oh, awful. Had to have it hem-stitched.
May I say something frightfully bromidic and mean it? I think you're the most extraordinary girl I have ever met.
Just lately, I've been the most extraordinary girl I've ever met. But I wasn't always this way.
You weren't?
Oh, no. No, I was just plain and ordinary before I became Pamela Drake.
Before you became Pamela Drake? When was that?
Oh, it seems like a long time ago. Although it really wasn't.
Oh, you mean you were reincarnated?
No, I was incorporated.
Incorporated?
Is that the same thing?
Well, not exactly. You see, incorporated is when you are in a corporation. But reincarnated means that you have, well, you have lived before as someone else.
Oh, that's me, all right.
That's you. Say, what were you in this other life?
A scullery maid.
Wonderful.
Oh, it wasn't so bad. In fact, I think I liked it better than being Pamela Drake.
Oh, you?
Have you ever been reincorporated?
Well, I have had several lives. That means before I became Sir Victor something.
What were you before?
A cook. I mean, a cook. I cooked up music. A piano.
I'll bet that was nice.
Yes, I love music, sure. Shall we sit down?
Uh-huh.
Tell me, Pamela, were you married in this former life?
Oh, no.
Would you like to be in this life?
Oh, yes. To the right man.
When the right girl meets the right man at the right time, everything is right, isn't it?
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good so far. They're getting very chummy. Good. Uh-oh, looks like he's asking her something. What does it look like she's saying? Looks like she's saying that he's coming in the house. Here he comes. Go down and get the lowdown from her. Okay.
Millie, how did it go? Have we struck pay dirt?
He proposed.
Good work, honey. The corporation will declare a dividend. When's the wedding?
I haven't told him I would yet.
You haven't told him you would.
Michael, I'm in love with someone else.
Love? Now look, honey, don't start that routine. Do you mean to say that you'd sacrifice all this for some guy who probably doesn't even know you're alive?
Doesn't he, Michael?
Of course he doesn't. He's got scullery maids in every kitchen in town.
Do you have scullery maids in every kitchen in town?
Well, yeah, sure.
I guess you're right, Michael. Oscar, fanfare, please. I want to announce my engagement to Sir Victor Fitzroy Victor, KBOB.
What? Sir Victor is very impulsive.
We're in.
Pamela, are you sure you know what you're doing? If the one you've always longed for seems to have a heart of stone, remember when it's lost, you're on your own.
You know, miss, I think a wedding is the happiest moment in a girl's life, don't you?
Yes, if you're the bride.
Of course, it's the main part of the happiness. Well, the Americans call Miss Drake Sir Lady Victor.
Do you think anyone will care?
Oh, you poor thing. Well, never you mind. He wasn't half good enough for you.
Good heavens, Sarah, I didn't want him.
No? I thought you were highly interested.
Sarah. Mother has an affinity for titles. Personally, I prefer Mr. Sinatra.
Oh, that young man. He looks just like someone I heard on the radio.
Are you ready, darling?
Yes, Mother.
Sarah, get into your hat and coat. You're going with us.
Me to the wedding?
Certainly. We're all going. I'm sure Miss Drake will be delighted to see you.
Where's the bride?
Right behind me.
She is not.
Huh? Run up and get her quick.
Where's Millie?
She's going up in the attic. What for? Get a piece of my great-grandmother.
What?
Oh, a good luck trinket, something old, new, borrowed, blue sort of thing. But the people...
Well, this...
Millie!
Yes, Michael?
Millie, what are you doing up here?
I'm trying to find something old and blue.
Look, Millie, you can't keep everyone waiting like this.
But I've got to find it, Michael. It's bad luck to get married if you don't have something old and something new and something borrowed. Something blue.
You should have thought of that before. Isn't there anything blue in there?
No. Come help me find it, Michael, please.
But all those people downstairs.
Oh, they won't mind waiting another minute. Let's look here.
Oh, this is so ridiculous, Millie. You...
Oh, it's a music box.
And it still plays.
It's beautiful. What is the music?
It's a minuet. This is the music our grandparents used to dance to.
So lovely.
Have you two gone nuts?
What is this, a wedding or a murder mystery?
You pick a funny time to go jitterbuggy in an attic.
You certainly do. Come on, Princess. Sir Victor's getting a little agitated.
Oh, I don't want to be married to Sir Victor.
When you're a member of a corporation, you do as the board directs. And besides, if we don't marry this guy, how am I going to pay all the salaries around here? Come on, Mike.
There's no hurry. Millie's not going to marry Sir Victor.
What?
I'm calling the whole thing off.
You are?
Sure, we shouldn't force a girl to marry a man she doesn't love.
Ah, love. This is a business proposition.
Yeah, and besides, this whole thing was your brilliant idea.
I know, but Millie's going to marry the songbird just the same.
What about the corporation?
I'm dissolving it.
Dissolving it?
Yes.
You can't do that. Besides, you're only one stockholder.
Yeah, brother, and I'm afraid you're going to be voted down.
Look out. Take it easy now. No violence. No.
Okay, send him.
Oh.
Well, that's that. Now for the wedding. Let's go.
How do you like that?
we are gathered together here in the presence of these witnesses to join this man and this woman in the bonds of matrimony. Do either of you know of any reason why you both should not be legally joined in marriage? Or if there be anyone present who can show just cause why these parties should not be legally joined together, let him speak now or hereafter hold his peace.
I'm speaking like a plenty to say. Sir Victor, you don't want to marry Pamela. She's in love with somebody else. And besides, her name is not Pamela Drake. It's Millie Pico. And she's a scullery maid. She's just marrying you for your money. Go on, Millie. Tell him.
Is that true, Pamela?
The name is Millie, and it's very true.
That's all, folks. Now, will everyone please scram? Wedding gifts will be cheerfully refunded at the front door. Take care of it, Millie.
Okay, Michael. That's all, folks. You must be out of your mind.
Just dandy.
What do you think of Mike? Do you think like this?
No, these are mine, and I take it.
Oh, Mrs. Morgan, this is Mrs. Oh, all right, sir. Mrs. Turner, this is Mrs. Morgan's present. Oh, well.
Goodbye, all. You're invited to our next wedding. Hey.
We'll do Mr. O'Brien.
I vote for that.
Me too. Come on. Let's catch this.
Are we too late? Is it over? Yep, it's all over. Well, hello, Sarah.
Hello, Mill. How are you?
Much better now. Much better.
Sir Victor! Did you know that this girl is not Pamela Drake?
We found out just in time. I trust you will forgive this dreadful
Why, hello, Joe.
Joe? Joe who?
Why, he's Joe Brown from Newcastle. We used to walk out together of an evening when he was pianist at the Royal Crown. Oh, he's a sharp one, he is. But awful entertaining, if you know what I mean.
We know what you mean.
Mrs. Keating, I'm sure this whole thing can be explained.
Here he is. Where?
Stop squawking. You haven't lost everything yet. Well, boys, we're certainly indebted to you for that lovely trip you gave me down the elevator.
What are you talking about?
Marty, does your biography tell you that the Drakes ran a secret tavern on this very site?
Yeah, in 1710.
You're right about that, and about the harpsichord, too.
What are you dribbling about?
About the swellest goon trap that ever caught a lush. Step into a bankroll.
What is he doing? Oh, get a load of this place, Marty.
Oh, boy, is this my house?
Yes, let's see.
Say, Bing. Hey, Mike, do you mean to say these cask and bottles are all full?
Full and fancy.
So are the spiders.
This is where the original gang started, about wine, women, and song.
Yeah, the Drakes were always first in everything.
Well, boy, I bet the song sounded terrific if the music was played on this old harpsichord.
All you have to do is build a stairway to the street and you're in business. That banker friend of yours will finance this in a minute.
Say, that's an idea. How does the corporation vote?
Hey!
Yay!
Yay! And I move we offer Mike our apologies.
Right. And a contract as general manager.
Well, thanks very much. I accept the apology, but I can't take the job, boss.
What's the matter?
I'm getting out of here.
You're getting out of here.
Say goodbye to Millie for me. Oh, make sure that she gets 2 full shares in this.
2?
Yeah, hers and mine.
Where are you going, Mike?
Why, a friend of mine has offered me a small part in a big show.
Hey, are you falling for that kid yourself?
So long, gang.
Well, what are we going to do without Mike?
We will rock it like a ball of fire.
Higher and higher and higher and higher.
evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, your entertainment is coming to you from Drake's Amsterdam Tavern, New York's most novel nightclub. Our famous guest star tonight is Mr. Frank Sinatra.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
Come in.
Because we had that...
You, Mr. O'Brien. It looks those forwarding addresses has been following you around.
I got a big following.
I like your act.
Thanks. What?
To see if everything was still all right, yes.
Reception and dinner at Drake's Amsterdam Tavern. RSVP. How do you like that? When's the next New York train?
10 o'clock to Chicago.
See if you can get me on it, son.
But how about the show?
Never mind, I'll take care of that.
Last night.
You'll sleep, brother.
Once in Manhattan, in gay old Manhattan, they used to try to hot about to the minuet and boogie. It was quite a novelty. It was a minuet and boogie, not the minuet in G. Oh, what a jam there in old Amsterdam. There was plenty fun for everyone.
Peter Stuyvesant was jumping, and they called him Solid Pete, while his wooden leg was bumping to a boogie-woogie beat.
Father Knickerbocker, a settin' in his rocker, I pulled his knickerbockers up.
He started rocking, nearly split a stocking, feeling like a newborn pup.
Mrs. Rumpelmeyer really took a flyer, and the population roared. Papa was a miller, Junior was a killer, playing on the harpsichord.
Now in Manhattan, while sipping or chatting, the modern chicks still get the kicks when they listen to a straight beat. Lower Basin Street Quintet, play that old Dutch Street in 8-beat. Boogie, woogie, boogie, woogie, boogie, woogie, minuet. Scatting to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beat. Basin Street Quintet, that old Dutch Street with a straight beat. Boogie woogie
I saw you first. Nobody else is gonna get you. I saw you first. Nobody else is gonna pet you. He used to sing to me.
But that, my child, is past.
Oh, yeah? Well, I saw him first.
But I've got him last.
This is a lovely way to spend an evening. There isn't anything I'd rather do. This is a lovely way to spend an evening. There isn't anyone as lovely as you.
Mike O'Brien!
Hello, Whiffen. I'll see you later.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, hi.
Well, hello, O'Brien. What do you know, O'Brien?
Hi, fellas.
Mike.
Hello, Sandy.
Hi, son.
Hiya, boss.
What are you doing here? Well, look who's here. What do you say, boy?
Hello, Oscar.
Well, welcome back, stranger.
Hey, when'd you get back in town?
Hiya, kids.
Hello, Mr. O'Brien.
Hi, Mike.
You're a fine guy.
What's wrong?
You find out that Millie hasn't got any dough, so you marry another bankroll.
Don't be silly.
You're all crossed up, Mike. I never intended to marry Millie.
Yeah, well, that's just why I'm here.
But you don't understand. That kid's never been in love with anybody, except you.
Me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
Certainly not. Everybody knows that, including Mrs. Drake.
Of course, you chump. We've been looking for you for months.
Sorry, Frank. Where is she?
In the scullery.
The scullery?
Yes.
She's still got the lowest seniority.
Michael!
Millie,
What's the matter?
I just heard that click.
Oh, you did, Michael? But is your blood fizzing like ginger ale? And do you feel like you're walking on air?
Yes, and I heard that music.
Do you feel yourself going around?
Yes, going around with you for a long time. A very long time.
Dancing on a cloud way off in the blue. The music stopped, and people were glancing, but we went on dancing, for we didn't know